Hi, welcome to my weekly update. This is probably going to be a little bit of a short update this week. I got maybe 2 hours sleep last night, and I kept having a lot of histamine issues, and I'm just really worried and upset about just my life in general, moving forward, the future, how that's going to work out. I have a bad habit of always trying to plan everything out to the very end before I start it. And, if I can't see the conclusion, I usually get rather worried. So that's something I'm working on. But, I think this week I want to talk a little bit about the impact that being chronically ill, especially for as long as I've been ill, the impact that's had on my relationships. And, I think this is a common theme with people that are dealing with chronic illness, especially complex chronic illness. Even the people that are closest to them, just simply, they don't understand. Over the years, you lose friends one by one, from canceling plans or not being able to go anywhere. And, it's been a really hard journey in that regard, in the social aspect of my life. Being chronically ill for as long as I have is, I've not only lost friends, but family members I also don't keep in touch with. They didn't understand what was going on with me either. And I think what made it all the more complicated is that with me, I have a lot of brain things going on. And for the majority of my life, I've been misdiagnosed and medicated pretty severely. So, I just didn't act right, to be totally honest with you. And then waking up from brain damage in the way that I have a few years ago, there is no rule book for this. Like, there's no doctor out there that's going to tell me specifically what I need to do to get reintegrated back into society again. And it's been a really, really challenging journey. I get misunderstood a lot. And, that can really weigh on my heart. People tend to make judgments, and it's weird because, I'm 43 years old and I'm an adult, but yet there's still so much, because I lived brain damage for so long that I just don't understand about life. And a lot of it, people would never even think like I would have issues with. But, that's the thing about having an invisible illness like traumatic brain injury or Lyme disease or whatever, is that, you can't judge a book by its cover, I guess is where I'm going with that. Anyway, so this past week, treatment-wise, I have been, it's my second week on CerebroPep for Neuro, Lyme, and the nerve damage to my gut. And it is continuing to sharpen my cognition and my mental clarity. Like, I've been able to start working on a little bit more creative type of work. Some posts I'm going to start doing, a series of posts actually, that are just not, this is my update or this is this. It's just me being, just trying to do something a bit different, get my head out of the healing phase and try to, get back into life, I guess. So, the CerebroPep, I attended this past week, I attended a peptide Zoom call with Gordon Medical and then also Dr. Kent Holtorf, where I got to ask questions about peptides, and I learned that I can actually go up in my CerebroPep dosage. So I'm going to slowly increase a capsule, see how I feel. And I really think that, just from my experience with CerebroPep and healing peripheral nerve damage, the peripheral nerve damage actually was it took 3 different cycles over the course of about 2 years for my peripheral nerve damage to heal enough to where I was like, oh wow, I can feel my body again. So at least in my experience, healing nerve damage takes a long time as compared to brain damage, which I don't know, it's kind of weird, I guess. But so I'm hoping when I increase my dose, I'll get some more improvement with the nerve damage that's going on with my gut. I've seen minimal improvements there, but it is very slowly kind of ramping up. And I'm only on week 2. I'm about to go on to week 3 this coming week. So pretty good stuff. I'm kind of amazed that even though I'm exhausted, like I feel physically awful right now my brain is still kind of on a little bit, which would never happen before I was on the CerebroPep. So I definitely can feel that it's doing something for me with the Neuro Lyme. And then what else? I've been doing some just light exercises to keep, blood flow and moving. And God, I swear that's the only time I feel good. And I want to go all in, but I know that I'll just exhaust myself. So I'm having to go very slowly, but it is helping a great deal. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. My memory isn't real great right now, but no, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next week. Bye.